This shit is not easy, but it's worth it. It's all about community. Spirituality is important. PocaSPEAKS. This shit is not easy, but it's worth it. PocaSPEAKS. This shit is not easy, but it's worth it. It's all about community. Spirituality is important. PocaSPEAKS. This shit is not easy, but it's worth it. PocaSPEAKS. This shit is... All right, hello, and happy motherfucking Wednesday to all of you. I hope that your day has been great so far. I know I'm on here a little bit later than I usually am, but for some reason, Spirit kind of had me doing some other stuff, and kind of wanted me to come on a little later today, so we're just want to see how that goes. But anywho, again, I hope that everyone is having a great day so far. I hope that you have been paying attention to the things that I've been posting and taking advantage of some of the messages that have been coming in. If you have been peeping my social media lately, as far as the messages that Spirit has been giving me, a lot of it is based in numerology, okay? So we're getting a lot deeper into numerology with this new year. Numbers are going to be very, very, very important, very beneficial when it comes to this new year, when it comes to navigating this new year, when it comes to processing the different things that are going on, when it comes to, being aware of what could potentially be coming in, so on and so forth, how to take advantage of certain cycles, what to do so that you can get the best out of certain things, and so on and so forth. So definitely be tuned in, be paying attention. If you've been feeling the need to look more into numerology, then let this be your sign of confirmation to go ahead and do so. But other than that, usually on Wednesdays, we do our mental health check-in, and this is kind of the same thing, even though it's not in the title. We're basically going to be doing the same thing today, but I wanted to kind of talk about it from a different angle. A lot of times, when we do our mental health check-ins, I'm more focused on making sure that your mind is in the right place, making sure that you're not depressed or you're not being anxious and all of that stuff. But today, Spirit really wants me to talk about the power of being yourself, okay? This mental health check-in, this Higher Wisdom Wednesday, this Wisdom Wednesday is all about tapping into who you are as a being, remembering who the fuck you are so that you can take advantage of those things. Okay, a lot of what's causing us distress right now, a lot of what we're going through, a lot of why we're worried, a lot of why we're even depressed or feeling some type of way is because we're not being true to ourselves. We're trying to fit ourselves into places, into positions, into circles, into groups that are not for us. And that's just the reality of the situation. The more we try to force it, the more it doesn't work. The more we try to fit in, the more it doesn't work. The more we try to force ourselves into people's lives or into certain spaces, the more, we're met with issues or backlash or being pushed back, okay, or things just simply not going our way. So this year is really a time for you to implement self-love, self-care, and figuring out who the fuck you are, okay? Because everything that happens this year, everything that comes to you this year will be moving based off of that energy, based off of you knowing who you are. I tell y'all all the time, when you know who you are, you know where you're going, right? And one of the biggest issues for a lot of us right now is a lot of y'all don't know where y'all going. You don't know what you're supposed to be doing. And tomorrow on Throne Talk, we're going to be talking about soul contracts, what is your purpose, things of that nature. So this is kind of like an appetizer to that. So definitely make sure that you go over there and subscribe at Throne Talk, Two Queens in a Pod, and make sure that you're tuning in tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. But today I really want to get into, why just being in your own energy, being in your own element, operating out of your own element is just so important. And again, there's a reason why when we do things outside of that, it does not work. Right? It does not go with the natural flow of things. There's problems, there's issues, there's unnecessary drama that arises, there's unnecessary problems or doors that are closed in our face that wasn't supposed to be or didn't have to be. There's things that go wrong when we are operating outside of being who the fuck we are, right? Now, a lot of people may be like, okay, well, how did we get to this place? Where did this come from? How did I even get to a position where, I don't know who I am, or I'm, now in a place where I have to search or figure out or learn who I am? And it goes back to what? Childhood. Okay. During our childhood, we are basically at the mercy of those energies around us. Okay. It is the people who raise us, it is the people who are in our environment. It is our teachers, it is our parents, it is our cousins, it is our siblings, it is our grandparents, our aunts, our uncles. If we wasn't raised around none of our biological family, it was those people that we was raised around, and the generational curses of our biological family still in the mix as well. So no matter what type of upbringing you had, there was some level of issue, problem, moral value that was implemented into your being at that point that gave you a false sense of life. Okay. And because you had this false sense of life, because you had this false sense of love, or this false sense of family, or this false sense of connection, or this false sense of partnership or support or loyalty or whatever it is, it groomed you into becoming this person who now is an adult who still doesn't have the proper understanding of things. And because of that, you cannot move forward. Okay, so a lot of what is causing us to be stagnant at this point in our lives as adults trickles down from the way that we were groomed, the way that we were brought up as children, our environments. And it's not always about what people said to you, it's not always about how people directly treated you. Sometimes it's just about what you saw in your space. Sometimes it's just about, the actions of the people who were in your environment. They didn't have to say nothing to you, but just you seeing it was enough to shape your mentality, to shape you to think a certain type of way, be a certain type of way, feel a certain type of way, and have a certain type of outlook. Now that doesn't even go into bullies, right? For a lot of us, our family is our first bullies. We didn't necessarily have to go to school or have to be around the neighborhood or have to be around other children or whatever the case is to feel bullied or to be bullied, because a lot of us just had to go home. A lot of us just had to go to grandma's house. A lot of us just had to go to the family event. And we would get exactly what would be similar to an experience at school with people who don't even fucking know us, right? So not only are you seeing certain things in your environment, not only do you have generational curses that you didn't ask for, you're dealing with things that you didn't ask for, you are, unconsciously being presented with things that you didn't even know was there. Not only are you dealing with that, but you're also dealing with people purposely feeding you negativity, purposely being evil, purposely being nasty, purposely being demeaning, purposely, doubting you or making you feel less than, purposely attacking your character or making you feel like the oddball out, or whatever the case is. So all of these things in combination come together to give you this false sense of identity, this false sense of reality, not knowing exactly who you are because of all of these things that have been told to you or done around you, that you've witnessed, that you've seen, that you've felt, that you've heard. Okay, even things that people have spoke to you. There's certain things that we walk around with now as adults with, that are things that people have said to us when we was 5 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old. And here some of us are 23, 33, 43, 50, you know what I'm saying? Still carrying that same heartache from that moment when you were less than 10 years old, less than 15 years old, and you're walking around with this energy, and you're not realizing that it is not who you are, it's who you've been conditioned to think you are, based on other people's pain, based on other people's drama, based on other people's traumas. Okay? Hurt people, and we hear that shit all the time, right? And we, certain things we hear so much that we don't even take it into real, we don't really think about it, right? If all I know is hurt, if all I know is pain, that's all I can give you until I go and either learn better or I am taught better, right? Now, realistically, we live in a society where people are not going to teach you shit. You have a responsibility of learning it for yourself. And for real, that's how it should be, right? You can guide the horse to water, but you can't make that motherfucking drink, right? So you can take the motherfuckers to the library and put them in school and classes and all this shit, but it's not going to make that person think for themselves. It's not going to make that person have a desire to learn more for themselves. So we have a responsibility at this point as adults, right? As generational curse breakers and chosen ones and all of these different titles that we put on ourselves. We now have a responsibility to go out and figure out what it is that we do not know and teach it to ourselves, right? It is no longer an excuse to sit around and say, oh, I just wasn't taught that. Nobody taught me that. Oh, I had this type of upbringing. Oh, I had this type of childhood. Or I went through these types of experiences. It's like, okay, whether that is a good point or not, right? Because trauma is trauma and it affects us deeply, okay? Especially depending the caliber of trauma you've experienced, right? So, granted, yes, you have been traumatized. Granted, yes, you have had a hard life. Granted, yes, you've been through things. But at what point do you turn your victimization into being a victor? At what point do you go from losing to winning? At what point do you change the trajectory of your story, of your life, of your purpose? At what point do you wake up and say, okay, enough is enough? It's time for me to do more. It's time for me to get more. It's time for me to receive more. It's time for me to be more and to show up in a bigger capacity because I know that I can, and that's something that I want to do. A lot of us have gotten so comfortable in being traumatized. We've gotten so comfortable in our lives just being our lives, right? You wake up, you go to work, you take care of your kids. If you got kids, if you don't, you take care of yourself. You deal with your problems, you deal with your issues, you stressed out about this, you stressed out about that. And this has become a normal life. This has become a normalcy for half of everybody in this motherfucking world right now, right? Nobody is living on purpose. Nobody is waking up like, today I'm going to push myself to do this, this, and that. Today I'm going to make it a point to create a new habit. Today I'm going to go out and I'm going to do some research on this, and I'm going to learn this, I'm going to learn that. Today I'm going to do some self-care and take myself out and do this and do that. Nobody, I'm not going to say nobody, but it is not a trend, right? To wake up and to be off some self-help type shit, right? A lot of people have gotten comfortable in their misery, so much so that they don't even realize that they're miserable anymore, right? And I always use this example. You ever been around a motherfucker that stink, but you've always known them to stink? And as long as you've known them to stink, they've never ever thought about, hey, damn, I stink. It's like everybody knows this motherfucker is funky. We all know that this motherfucker that don't wash their ass or got something going on with them. Everybody motherfucking knows. People could have tried to say it to this person and everything else, but they still do not understand. They still cannot smell what you smell. They don't get what you saying. It's not clicking. Okay? That's how people have become complacent in their lives, the same fucking way. When you sit around a stanky ass, funky ass situation and environment, and you've been dealing with this since you came into this world, at some point you're going to become immune to it. You're not going to smell it anymore. But people who have never been in those situations, or people who are new to your environment, they're going to be the ones that's like, what the fuck is going on here? right? This is why sometimes we meet really, really good people in the midst of us going through a transition, and we miss out on these really good people because we are not trying to acknowledge that something is wrong, right? When you allow your ego to get into the way of your development, you don't grow. You can't grow. It's not possible. If your ego is stopping you from developing yourself more, taking your life to that next level, showing up in a different type of way, shape, or form, presenting something new to your environment, presenting something new to your community, stepping up to the plate, walking in your purpose, whatever the case is, if your ego is stopping you from doing those things, then what the fuck are you doing? What are we here for? What's the purpose? We might as well just pack it up. We might as well just swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Because, I mean, what are you here for? What is the purpose of you coming to this hellhole for you to not be productive? There's no point, right? So we know that there is a meaning for us to have gone through the things that we have gone through. Even being developed into a family, and I don't want to get too far into it because we're going to talk more about it tomorrow on Throne Talk. But down to being birthed in a specific family is all supposed to happen, right? And the beauty of healing is understanding why things had to happen the way that they had to happen. And you don't see that until you get to a place where you start to break all of these individual experiences down and really dissect them to see, okay, this happened to me, it affected me in this way, I learned this lesson from it, that's why it had to happen. Or that's why I'm grateful for the experience or for the lesson, even if I'm not grateful for the experience, because sometimes the experience sucks ass. Okay, let's talk about it. Y'all know I ain't gonna never get on here and fake the motherfucking funk. Sometimes the experience is a 0 out of 10. Okay, negative 30 out of 10. Okay, it sucks ass. So sometimes the experience is not even all cracked up to, what they say it is. It's just not all of that, right? But I can still be grateful for the lesson because that's something that I can take with me to continue to better myself, to continue to be who I'm supposed to be and align with whatever my divine purpose is, right? So this is the thing. Let's talk about uniqueness, right? Now, a lot of people are confused about what uniqueness is. Uniqueness is not giving a different approach to something that you've already seen. That's not being unique. Okay, that's not being unique. If I see everybody over here is a content creator and they doing content creation on hair, nails, and makeup, me being unique is not also becoming a content creator, but I'm just doing it on flowers and gummy bears. Okay, that's not uniqueness. I'm probably not even operating my purpose. I'm just doing something that I see other people doing, and I want to remix it and try to put a spin on it so that it can possibly be something different. No, uniqueness is I see y'all content creating, but I'm gonna go back to the old school shit. I'm gonna go get me a TV show. I'm gonna go do production for a movie or a show or a satellite something, right? Or I'm going to operate in my purpose and I'm going to go be a motherfucking veterinarian. What the fuck? That's uniqueness. I'm not going to try to recreate what you're doing or put my spin on what it is that you're doing. I'm just going to follow my own heart. If my own heart says I need to wake up and I need to start designing shoes, I'm going to wake up and start designing fucking shoes. What does it mean to me that nobody in my family has never designed a fucking shoe before? What the fuck does that have to do with me? That has nothing to do with me. Right? If I wake up and I feel the need to start writing out some type of, new document that the workforce could use and I'm the first to come up with this shit and I've never seen it before, then that's just what the fuck I'm going to do. Why? Because it came to me and I'm just going to operate in what naturally flows for me. Right? We live in a world where everybody's trying to fit into this cookie cutter ass mold. They give you a standard and say, this is what it is. This is what you need to fit into in order for you to be successful. And y'all have took that shit and ran with it, not understanding that people operating in themselves, being who they are, is what made motherfuckers successful in the first place. Anybody that you have ever looked to for inspiration, or I don't want to say idolize because we don't idolize nobody, okay? Because We don't do that. That's weird. But anybody you've ever looked to for inspiration, or anyone who you've ever acknowledged, okay, in high status, you've always been inspired by that person, not because they were just like everybody else, but because of the very fact that they were different than everybody else. It was something about that person that stood out to you. It was something about that person that grabbed your attention. It was something about that person that you have not seen before, heard before, felt before. There's something that person may have spoke, right, that you've never heard nobody say it like that, or whatever the case is. There was something about that person that was unique, that only they could do, that something only they could achieve, something that only they can make you feel, and it made you gravitate to that person's energy, right? So the world will see something like that, and in their head, instead of people saying, I love this person because they operate in their truth, so let me follow their lead by operating in my truth, right? Because that's the only lead you need to be following if you're going to follow a lead. Okay, I'm going to follow their lead. I see them being them, so I'm going to follow their lead and be me, right? Instead of motherfuckers saying that, they say, oh, I see this person operating in their truth. Let me also operate in their truth. Let me also go out here and do what the fuck they're doing. And then you get what? You get nothing from it. Nobody gets nothing from it because it's the same shit. You're not offering anything different. You're not presenting anything that is unique. You're not presenting anything that people could take and do something different with, because it's something that they've already had. It's something they've already seen before. And a lot of y'all are spending so much time in your head because the ideas you have, you've never seen before. You've never seen these things done before. You've never heard these things. You've never seen these things written. You've never seen these things taught. You've never seen these things be spoken about. You've never seen these things created or invented. You've never seen it, so you feel like it's not supposed to be done, or you feel like it's something that shouldn't be done, and that's not the truth. The fact that you haven't seen it means that you're the first person that's probably supposed to fucking do it. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever taken into consideration the reason why you don't see it is because it's you who are supposed to do it? That's what operating in your uniqueness is. I'm not going to allow the fact that what I'm doing being so different, what I'm doing being so unique, what I'm doing being so unheard of, I'm not going to allow those things to put me in a state of fear where I then do not give the world what they've never seen before. How the fuck can I do that? It is the very fact that the world has never seen it before that it's going to eat down and do exactly what it's supposed to do, because it is unheard of, right? And it goes back to childhood. A lot of y'all have always felt like you had to fit in because you never fit in. This goes back to that chosen one conversation. This goes back to that generational curse breaker conversation. This goes back to the soul contracts conversation that we're going to have tomorrow on Throne Talk, right? You have been conditioned to think that everybody is supposed to be off the same type of wave. We all supposed to think the same, look the same, walk the same, talk the same, be the same, dream the same, manifest the same. Everything's supposed to be the same. The same. Same religion, same mentality, same value system, same moral code, same everything. Everything's just supposed to be the same. And because you've been conditioned in that environment, because whether it was intentionally put in your head or whether it was something that you just picked up, right? Because sometimes picking up in our environment is everybody in my family is doing the same things and everybody praise them, but the minute that I do something that's out of the box, nobody got shit to say to me, or people looking at me crazy, right? That's an unintentional lesson, right? That's a lesson of action. When these people do something, the action is this. When I do something, the action is that. There's a difference in response. So this is training your brain as a child that I have to do what they like in order for them to like me. I have to be what they want me to be in order for them to accept me, in order for them to congratulate me and high five me. Even if it's for a second, even if it's fake, even if it's phony. The fact that I have been separated from it so long, the fact that I haven't got it, or I never had it, or I never felt it, or I want it real bad, I'm going to sacrifice me living in my truth, because there is nobody around me who is praising me for being me. They only praise you when you're trying to be like somebody else. And society is doing the same thing right now. If you're not a woman with a BBL and a fake ass body and lipo and fillers and all type of shit going on. You're not getting the same opportunities. You're not getting the same looks. You're not getting the same support. You're not getting the same push as those people may be getting. Right? If you're not doing OnlyFans and selling ass and doing these things, it's harder for you to take care of yourself in this economy. Trying to make an honest living and do things the honest way, or do things with some morals, some values, or whatever. Right? Because society is pushing us to fit where they want us to fit based on income. It don't got nothing to do with those people actually being the best. And you out here comparing yourself to these motherfuckers who change. Y'all seen Kim Kardashian? When she first got with Kanye, when she first was fucking on Ray J and was trying to fuck her way into the black community, she wanted the big ass booty, she wanted the curves, she wanted the titties and all that. She divorced Kanye and now she thin mint. Where the ass go, Kim? Where all the curviness go, Kim? All that shit went the fuck out the window. Because it shows you how disposable these trends are. It shows you how disposable those things are. Nobody cares about that. Nobody gives a fuck. One day it's in, the next day it's out. That's how it works when you're on a conveyor belt. It's just like a production line. And they just trying to pump out the same shit over and over and over and over and over. This is why places like TikTok have become so popular, because people are able to showcase themselves. They're able to be who they are, and the world appreciates it. You got motherfuckers on TikTok who are more famous than people who are actually putting out music and have been putting out music for years. You got motherfuckers on TikTok who have more money and more success than motherfuckers who've been in the entertainment industry for the last 20 years. Hello? You got Keith Lee out here who is probably about to be more world renowned in a little bit than Chef Gordon Ramsay. There's people don't even know the fuck Gordon Ramsay is, but if you bring up Keith Lee, motherfuckers in Africa and Asia and China and everywhere the fuck else know who the fuck he is. All because he sat down in a Spider-Man chair and started doing food reviews for fucking fun, for shits and giggles on social media. And now he has the power to make or break your business with a click of a motherfucking button and a review of his personal opinion. And you mean to tell me you think because it's never been done before that it can't be fucking done? What are we talking about? Spirit, the universe is literally showing us that the impossible been possible. It's been possible. But a part of escaping that matrix is escaping all of these standards that you allow society to box you into. Who the fuck said you needed a 9-to-5 in order to survive? Who told you that? When the motherfuckers who own the 9-to-5 are business owners. The people you punching the clock for own the motherfucking business. So why would they convince you that you can't fucking do it? Probably so that it's less of them and more of you. Come on now, we read Higher Wisdom Wednesdays. We read between the lines. A lot of this shit is purposefully done. They purposely turn black people on each other. They purposely put us in a position where we were traumatized so that we can degrade our own and keep our own down. That's why we have that saying, crabs in the bucket, crabs in the barrel, whatever you want to call it. Right? That crab mentality, because they pinned us against each other so much and made what they had in their hand the prize, that you have people clawing at each other and fighting at each other to try to be above one another instead of helping each other get to the same space by offering support, not by trying to be like the person that is around. What the fuck? Now everybody reading cards. Now everybody is calling themselves a root worker. Now everybody out here making waist beads. Now everybody out here making jewelry. Now once you call yourself spiritual, now you gotta be a Reiki master. Now you gotta be over here trying to give spells and give messages and all of this shit. Being spiritual is not about operating in that type of spiritual capacity. Being a healer does not mean that you have to operate in that type of spiritual capacity. I tell y'all all the time, you can be a healer and be a hairstylist. Do you know the chakras that hairstylists are working with when they are doing hair? First of all, let's talk about their own chakras. Both of your motherfucking hands got chakras in it. In the palm of your hands, those are energy centers. That's why what you touch matters. Where you place your hands matter. What you do with your motherfucking hands matter. Because you got two big ass energy centers in the palm of your motherfucking hands. Now, what part of the body are they working with? They're working with your motherfucking head. What chakra is located in your head? Your crown chakra and your third eye chakra. This is why in the beauty salon, back in the day when people used to actually go to beauty salons, okay? Let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. I miss beauty salons. Can we bring beauty salons back, please? Beauty salon prices, beauty salon talk, beauty salon atmosphere. Can we bring that back? I'm sick of going to y'all houses and y'all dogs and y'all kids is running around. It's very ghetto. Put your money together and let's open up some beauty salons. Okay, please. The community would thank y'all and y'all would make a lot more money. Okay, it's the reason why them old school beauticians is still making that bank because they ain't never switched up. They ain't never changed. Okay, that's just a little sidebar. But anyway, back in the day in beauty salons, there was a reason why women would go in there and they would talk about their problems and they would come out with a solution. There was a reason why you would go into there one way and that woman do some voila voodoo magic for real, okay, hoodoo realness, and spin you around in that chair and you turn around and you activate a whole new part of you. It's a reason. Same thing for men. Men still have barbershop culture, okay? That's why barbers gonna always eat. Men still have barbershop culture, and I love that for them because we need more of that, right? The healthy kind. Not y'all in there trying to do love podcasts. I don't got time for that. But it's a reason why men go in there and they able to have they talks, right? And they get their hair cut and they spin them around in that motherfucking chair, and it's the same thing. Something new in them is awakened, right? It's not just about the fact that they're changing on the inside. It's a confidence thing. It's an internal thing. It's a I know who the fuck I am. So now when I walk out of here, I'm gonna walk different. I'm gonna talk different. I'm gonna act different. It's a reason why once we get our hair done, makeup done. Well, I don't do makeup, but hair, nails, things like that make us feel good about ourselves when we take care of self. Notice these are all things that you do for yourself. So it's the reason when you start taking care of yourself and you leave those environments, you got the energy to go run errands. Now you got the energy to go out to eat. You ain't feel like going out to eat at all. You've been in the bed depressed for the last couple of weeks. But now all of a sudden that hair is done. Now all of a sudden you got them eyebrows plucked. You got your nails done. You didn't let them rub on your feet and give you a nice little pedicure. Now you got energy. You ready to go do what you need to do. Because these are all parts of the body, of the chakra system, of the energy fields, right? The energy centers that we're working with. When you are a chef, you're feeding people's soul. Food is literally what we need in order to thrive. Without food, we would die. You can only live but so long off of just water, right? You can't live off of water your whole life. At some point, you got to put electrolytes and electricity into your body. That comes in the form of food. So when you are cooking, when them motherfucking chefs is whipping it up and they in that bitch concentrating and they just flowing. Have you ever seen a chef in their element? It's like a dance. It's pots over here and pans and whoop 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 and chop, and it's like they in there doing the motherfucking ballet because they're operating in a specific energy field. And that's why they say you can feel the love, or you can taste the love in the food. When you get fed by a person who really loves, you can taste that shit. Okay? It's a different type of itis. Okay? It's a different type of fulfillment. You can literally taste that person loves what they're doing, or they put love into whatever they're doing. You can tell the difference. Have you ever seen, paintings? For my artists out there, for my people who are either artists who sell paintings on canvases, for people who are artists who do online artistry, whether that's logos, graphics, things of that nature, people who draw, people who write, people who color, whatever the case is, any of my artists, right? It's a different level. When they get into their element, they zone the fuck in because it's a different energy that they working in. None of this has anything to do with fucking tarot cards. You know what I'm saying? None of this has anything to do with I'm channeling a message. Like, none of it has anything to do with that. But you can feel the passion. When you go, have you ever been and seen a piece of art that literally makes you want to cry? Some of y'all need to go check out an art show. Maybe this is confirmation for some of y'all to go check out an art show. If you've ever been to an art show, if you've ever been to any type of art gallery or anything of that nature, and you looked at a piece of art that's just like, I'm emotional. Like, this is breathtakingly, I don't even know. There's no words. Because that person put their heart and soul into it, and it ain't nothing but paint. Ain't nothing but some color splashed around with some motherfucking water and put on a canvas. But the way that they flow, the way that they did that motherfucker, you can feel it. You can feel the passion, the sincerity. One of the biggest ones that we all can tell, whether you speak the language or not, is music. An artist, there is music that is in Spanish. There is music that is in Ifa or you know, just different languages. And I know that shit word for word. I don't know what the fuck they saying. But when the shit come on, I feel it in my soul. It does something to me. I connect with it. Why? Because the passion that they put into it. I don't need to know what the fuck you saying. I feel it. This is why American artists can go over to China or Asia or Brazil or all of these other different places where they may not speak English predominantly and be able to have sold out fucking shows. Because the music speaks for itself. Motherfuckers don't gotta know what the fuck you saying to feel that shit. We don't have to know what the fuck you saying for us to know that it's coming from a place of love or pain or joy or sorrow. We don't have to know what the fuck you saying. We feel it because you put that into it. So everything that we do aligns with what we were put here to do. Everything that we naturally do aligns with what we are supposed to be doing in this lifetime. Right? So if I'm limiting myself and I'm not fully stepping into my purpose, or I'm not doing what feels, organic to me, just because I simply don't see anybody else doing it, or just because I feel weird because I'm out there, or just because, this is my first time going for it. I don't care what it is. Do it. Because we'll sit there and we'll listen to somebody's success story and they be like, oh, nobody believed in me and nobody wanted to hear this shit and my type of music didn't nobody want to hear and my type of this, people were saying that people weren't going to support me and it was going to be shitty and it wasn't going to work out. And then it was this one person who posted it. It was this one person who played my song. It was this one person who did this. It was this one person who did that. And 20 years later, I'm still at the top of the charts. 30 years later, I'm still able to do this. I'm still able to do that. I'm still able to tap into this and tap into that. Right? It's the reason why Michael Jackson will always be Michael Jackson, because who the fuck can repeat that shit? Show me. Show me. Show me a motherfucker who can sing like that at 5 and 6 years old. Please. Please be so for real before you open your mouth and say something to me. Show me. Show me somebody who can do the shit. Show me somebody who can carry a motherfucking band of their family members that are way older than them at 7 and 8 and 9 years old. Show me one. We'll all wait. Hello? Like my grandmother said, hello? Show me. Prove it to me. You're not going to find one. Because he was sent here to do what the fuck he did. And guess what the fuck he went through in his childhood? Let's talk about it. How his father was beating his motherfucking ass, allegedly. I gotta say allegedly, because I don't got no coins. I don't got no time for the Jackson family to try to sue me. Right? Everything he went through. Being picked on about his color. Being picked on about his nose. He grew up in the fucking 60s and the 70s. They wasn't that opening and welcoming and forthcoming with our motherfucking ass yet. They wasn't out here trying to do our TikTok dances and get booty injections yet. They was not fucking with us like that. We had just came out of colored only. We was just leaving that motherfucking era. And you got this little black boy who was brown. Okay, you wasn't no denying who the fuck he was. He was not his light-skinned Michael Jackson at that point. He was a little black-ass boy. And he set the whole motherfucking world on fire. Not the country, not the city, not his state, the world. He tore this motherfucker out. And then not only did he do that, but into his teens and into his early 20s, he took his solo career to a level that we've never seen repeated. Hit album after hit album after hit album after hit album after hit album. And yes, we're talking about albums. We're not talking about records. We're talking about albums. Inventing dance moves. Producing his own motherfucking albums. What are we talking about? Selling out football arenas. Selling out, big ass show arenas. Back in that day where there was no social media. Come on now. When you operate in what you're supposed to be operating in, sometimes it don't look the way you think it's supposed to look. Imagine if you was born with that silver spoon in your mouth. No, why my eye burning. Imagine being born with that gold spoon in your mouth. You wouldn't have no type of appreciation for shit. You wouldn't be able to speak to your descendants that will come after you and give them the game and be able to put them in a specific position. You wouldn't be able to connect to the people that may be supposed to be your clients, to the people who may supposed to get some inspiration from you. You wouldn't be able to give that story. You wouldn't be able to break those specific curses had you not been through what you've been through. So instead of focusing on the fact that you're upset about it happening, baby, it already happened. There's nothing we can do about that. We can't go back and change it. It is what it is. It happened the way it happened. It be what it be. There's nothing that we can do about it. It is what it is. Right? So when you acknowledge, okay, it already happened, but what can I take from it? How do I give this meaning so that when I look back at it, I'm not feeling hurt, I'm not feeling pain, I'm not feeling regret. If anything, I'm feeling appreciation. And it don't mean appreciation in a weird way, because some of us were assaulted, some of us were disrespected, some of us had a lot of horrible shit happen to us. And I'm not saying go back and be like, I appreciate you assaulting me. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is I'm so happy that I was put in a position where I'm able to heal my generation. I'm so happy and grateful that I was able to get through that painful experience to be in a position where I'm now able to further and change the trajectory of my family, of my bloodline, of my descendants. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm able to be the martyr or the catalyst for change in my family history. I always tell y'all, my biggest dream and my biggest goal and the thing that pushes me probably the most out of a lot of stuff is the fact that when my family do family reunions in 60 and 70 years, oh, Big Nana gonna be on the t-shirt. Yeah, in the middle with the peace sign up for the millennials. Cause you got me fucked up. Oh yeah, Big Nana gonna be on the t-shirt. Big Nana gonna be in a motherfucking book where they do the family tree, and I'm right there in the middle with their granddaddy. And we sitting there with the peace sign, doing the club poses, like we back in 05. Yeah. That's my goal. That's the biggest reason I'm doing this shit. Because that's legacy. That's something that will always continue to grow. That's something that will never stop. I'm going to have kids. They're going to have kids. They're going to have kids. They're going to have kids. It's just going to keep going. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. So everything that we're doing is not just for us. So me being unique, right? Because my family is Christians. Pentecostal Christians. To them, I worship Satan. And they head, I'm the Antichrist. Okay? This is completely out of the box for my family and my generation and my bloodline. Even though they've always had spiritual gifts and do have spiritual gifts to this day, they don't associate those things with spirituality. So to them, I'm the oddball out. I'm doing some whole other shit. I'm going against the grain. Right? But I had to realize I'm supposed to. Had I not stepped out on faith and embraced my unique path and my unique journey, we wouldn't be here right now. Poca wouldn't be Poca. PocaSPEAKS wouldn't be PocaSPEAKS. We wouldn't have Throne Talk. We wouldn't have Melanated Spiritual. We wouldn't have so many people that I was able to help and assist with finding themselves and finding their journey. This would not have happened. There would be so many lives unaffected. TikToks that didn't go viral so people couldn't see certain things or learn certain things. And that's not to put my dick on the table like my Uncle Cliff say. Right? That's just to say it is what it is. Same thing with you. Had you not did what the fuck you did, you would not have been able to affect the people the way that you have affected them. Had you not started doing nails, you wouldn't have been able to do nails of these celebrity clients and do all of these big things and take your family to a different status. Had you not went to school and you know, instead of going to be a teacher like everybody else in your family, you went to go be a psychologist or something else. Had you not done those things, you would not have been able to take your bloodline to the next level. Mind you, we are here as generational curse breakers, as chosen ones, to take us to the next level. We are moving out of Pisces. We're no longer in the age of Pisces, which means all of the illusions, all of the bullshit that they had us thinking we had to work towards. Oh, you got to go to college. Oh, you got to do this. Oh, you got to be married. You got to have kids. You got to die. You got to die. All of that shit, all of those illusions are falling. It's over. It's falling. It's being done away with. Why? Because it's time for us to go to the next level. The next level is the age of Aquarius, which is what? Knowledge. I know. You can't tell me. You can't tell me what you feel because I know. It's not no belief no more. I know because these are the facts. The facts are the facts, and the facts say this and they say that. And it is what it is. That's the age we're in right now, along with technology. So notice, we're in a new age, which means you got to do new shit. So why would you be afraid to step out of your comfort zone and step out of the box when we're in a new age that is promoting you to be unique and to be different? The energy around us is literally encouraging us to be different, to move differently, to give more, to step outside of the commonalities that we have become used to get outside of society's concepts and you know, uninteresting things that they feel like we should be fucking doing. That is the whole purpose of this new age. So what kind of disservice are you doing to your journey? What kind of disservice are you doing to your purpose? What kind of disservice are you doing to your generations, your bloodline to come? With you being scary and you the one that's sent here to pop it off. You literally here from the beginning. You have crossed over from the age of Pisces to Aquarius. You lived through the crossover. You are experiencing the crossover of a new age with your own eyes. And you're going to not take advantage of it? You going to sit back and not be accountable? You're not going to tap in? You're going to be scared to take a leap of faith? Make it make sense. How does that make sense? Everything around you is conducive for you to do exactly what you're doing. That's why you woke up. There was a reason why you was asleep during the age of Pisces, because you was supposed to be. There's a reason why when we start converting over to the age of Aquarius, you woke the fuck up, because you supposed to be. So if you did all of that, then you got to continue on with the rest of the fucking plan. You can't stop in the middle and say, ooh, all right. It's like that scene in Pocahontas when she get to the crossroads and she can either go to the left or she can either go to the right. And she got to figure it out. And she in the water. She like, you know, I don't know where to go. And she even sing a little song. Which way do I turn? Should I marry this nigga who my family want me to marry because of this tradition and that's what we've been doing? Or do I go over here and going on an adventure with this new motherfucker who could potentially be the love of my life? You got a decision. Am I going to keep taking my family the way that we've been going? And we see how that's working out. Because just take a look around you. Look at your family dynamic right now and say, is this something that I want to see within my personal family dynamic in the next 30 to 40 years? That should wake you the fuck up. That will alert you like nothing else fucking will. Just look around at your family and say, do I want to be looking at my family as the grandma, as the great grandma, and see this behavior from my perspective in 40, 50, 60 years? Hell no. Hell no. My family don't even like each other. They don't even fuck with each other for real. Everybody's fake. Everybody's phony. Everybody, no, hell no. I want to be able to look out and see my grandchildren getting along and in the garden or on the family land. Okay, having a cookout or something. You know what I'm saying? Something that we do every month or some shit. Cause we got our own family traditions that we done made the fuck up. Get into that type of shit. Make up your own family traditions. A lot of y'all got your own kids. Got your own man or your own woman. Make your own traditions up. And it don't have to be biological family that you start these traditions with. Do it with your best friend and her kids and her family. That's family too. It all counts. Right? So it don't have to be, your biological family. Some of y'all trying to hold on to biological family so motherfucking much. It's literally what's causing you to be stagnant. When spirit is trying to send you people who are actually on the same wavelength as you, but they may not be connected to you by blood, but who the fuck cares? Right? Start those type of traditions with the people that you love. It's not the people that you related to by blood. It's the people that you love. If you love them and they love you and both of y'all are involved in each other's lives in a positive capacity, then that's your family. Period. So if it's just you and your girlfriend and both of y'all got kids and y'all baby daddies both ain't shit, okay, cool. Every Sunday we gonna have family dinner. Either I'm gonna bring the kids to your house or you bring the kids to my house. We gonna cook. We gonna watch a movie and do some meditations and shit before they start the week for school. Maybe do a little arts and crafts for the kids. Something. Because why does our life have to look like our parents' lives did? I remember when I was a kid, my mama would come in the house and go in her room and close the door. The fuck? She didn't want to be bothered with our motherfucking asses. She was stressed the fuck out because of life. And because of that, she didn't have time to come in there and then be all in her kid's face. She wanted some time to herself. So it was up to me and my brothers to figure it out. And play with each other. And whatever. Right? But do I want to repeat that for my kids? Fuck no. I don't want to be too tired for my children. I don't want to miss vital parts of my children's lives because I'm doing all of this extra shit that I don't have to be doing because I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses. Or because I'm trying to live my life according to what somebody else told me was correct instead of just doing what is for me. And when you do what's for you, it gives you the lifestyle that you've always wanted. Period. Right? A good friend of mine that I was talking to recently, her and her family made a major move, which I'm very proud of them for, right? She's about to have another baby. Her and her husband are doing great, and they are, doing a lot of things when it comes to, changing their nationality and tapping in with their roots, their spirituality, and all these different things. And she's just been moving according to her motherfucking intuition. And I talked to her one of the, probably a month ago, and she was like, yeah, girl, I had an in-house nanny. I said, you got what? An in-house nanny? That's what the fuck I'm talking about? What the hell? I wish when I talked to every one of my friends that told me that got kids, they told me they had an in-house fucking nanny. That's the energy that I'm fucking talking about, because we are luxurious over this bitch. How the fuck can Martha and Kate have a motherfucking nanny in-house? Okay, and they don't even do shit. And we over here with all these motherfucking kids, plus businesses, plus 9 to 5s, and we don't get the luxury of a fucking in-house nanny. Hell fucking no. We deserve that shit too. That's the energy I want to hear from everybody in my motherfucking space. I got an in-house nanny. They got an in-house maid. Oh yeah, the people just came to pick up my car to take it to get it detailed and do the. Oh yeah, girl, they about to come get me to take me to the airport. That's the type of shit I want to hear. Right? And it all comes from operating in your purpose. She probably would have never thought she would have gotten to the day where she able to say some shit like that. But because she followed her gut and she made that move and she did what she needed to do, her and her family have been taken care of. And that's just one example of many that I can give about people outside of myself, because I always give y'all examples about myself and how spirit has taken care of me since I just was like, fuck it. Because I was a whole elementary school teacher before I started doing this. I had government, what they say, good government job. I had a good city job, state job. It wasn't the government, but I had benefits. Bitch had health care and dental. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know teachers don't really get paid too much, but it was in one of the wealthiest counties that's in Virginia. Period. And you talking to a person that ain't never went to college in her life. Okay, so even before I got all the way back into my spirituality, always had favor. And that's how you know when you're here for a reason. Even before your journey, you can look back and realize, like, I got flew into that position. They looked out for me in this. I was protected in this. I was looked out for in this. I was kept through this. That's how you know when you here to do some shit. When certain things should have took your ass out, when certain things shouldn't have happened for you, when you shouldn't have gotten certain opportunities, and it came to your ass anyway. And here you are with another opportunity to take this shit to the next level, and you gonna be stagnant. You're not gonna move. How fucking dare you? Wow. Remind me to never do nothing for your motherfucking ass. The hell? Imagine if our ancestors, our grandparents, right? And we don't even gotta go back to great, 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 great. Just imagine if your grandparents, your mama's mama, your daddy's mama, your mama's daddy, your daddy's daddy. Imagine if they took this approach. Imagine if they had the opportunity to wake up. Where would you be right now? How would your life be? Imagine if they stepped out of their comfort zone, no matter what everybody around them was saying, and they followed their spiritual intuition. They followed themselves, their Ori, their higher self. Imagine where you would be right now. What predicament what type of life would you be living, my love? If them people took time out to love themselves, if them people took time out to invest in themselves and to do for themselves and to create. Imagine, just think about it. And then when you think about that, think about where you want your descendants to be 2 generations from now, 1 generation from now. Imagine how you want their lives to be. And then go create it. Then go do it. Make that shit happen. All right. So, light love, hopefully y'all got something from this. Definitely make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you know whenever I go live or post any new content. If you're watching from Facebook, definitely make sure that you also go over to YouTube and subscribe so you can watch all of the other videos. Again, tomorrow we will be live on Throne Talk on YouTube with my co-host Empress A, talking about soul contracts. We're going to be getting deeper into soul contracts. What is your purpose? How to find your purpose? How to discover your purpose? What to do when you discover your purpose, and everything in between. So this is kind of like the first part of that. We will have the part 2 tomorrow. So definitely make sure that you tune in for that. Also on the 13th, like I told you guys before, which is next Tuesday, I will be doing a 3-hour trauma healing master class using my The Shadow Work Is You shadow prompt journal. Okay, this is a male and female masterclass. So for anyone who is interested, we will be going through my new book page for page, breaking down how to do it, how to do shadow work, how to start tapping in, how to heal, and getting more accustomed and more comfortable with the process of healing. So those who are interested, it's only $44. So definitely make sure that you tune in with me. Either email me or inbox me. All of my information is going across the bottom of the screen, as you can see. Of course, all other mentoring services, life coaching services, counseling services, therapy sessions, all of those things are still available. I do have special prices for a lot of stuff right now, so definitely tap in, because eventually prices will go back to the regular thing. So definitely tap in while things are a lot cheaper. Okay, when I say a lot cheaper, I mean a lot cheaper. Okay, and I do also accept payment plans for certain services. All right, even if there's certain services that you don't even know that you need, but you just like, I know I need something, just inbox me, let me know what it is that you're looking for, and we can definitely put something together to make sure that you're getting the assistance that you need. Okay, love and light. If you want to send a donation here, feel free to donate. Every donation is appreciated. But again, I will see your beautiful faces tomorrow night. I will not be on this channel during the day tomorrow. I will just be doing Throne Talk tomorrow night. So you will see me again on this channel on Friday. Okay?